Welcome back, Mr. Goodberry. The First Star Logistics studio is fully equipped and ready to record.
Welcome back to Bengals on the Brain, presented by First Star Logistics. I'm your host, Joe Goodberry, and the off-season's here. OTAs are here. I started to have a lot of conversations about Barrett Carter Jr. and his return, and we did an episode on Barrett Carter going back to 2024 to watch his film. Because, hey, if that guy returns and he's what he looked like in 2024, again in 2026, it's a big boost to this offense. And that's what got me thinking into the next mode and our next bit of content theme here is let's watch some of these young prospects that are on the roster that if they hit their upside or take a step in the right direction, how much better that could put this 2026 Bengals team in position to do what we all want them to do, which is get to the end and win the championship and finally win one of these Super Bowls. And one of the main guys, one of the first guys I thought of to do this, because I think he could take that step. This position typically does, and I'm not going to beat around the bush any longer. It's Demetrius Knight, and last year's second-round pick had more flashes, in my opinion, than Barrett Carter. Barrett Carter wore a green dot. That means he's calling the defensive plays. He's got the radio in his helmet. He's setting guys up. They may see him as better or more stable right now. I'm not really sure. I'd like to, give him some truth serum and see what they say. Who's better between Knight and Carter? Or who's got the upside? If it's me and you ask me, I think Knight's got the upside. Despite being older, I think he's a better athlete. I think he's longer. And I think the splash plays are there. He plays more physical as well, which is a prerequisite for playing linebacker. So I've got 39 reps here from last year's rookie tape of Demetrius Knight Jr. And we're going to watch him. And these are his defensive stops from his rookie season. Number 44 is Demetrius Knight. If you've forgotten, if you're interested in what he looked like his rookie year, if you're ready for that reset and get new expectations for his sophomore season, this is how we'll do it. All right, week 1 versus the Browns. That's Joe Flacco at quarterback. And I thought Knight had a really good week 1, doing his job, getting outside, setting the edge right there for, I think that's a receiver that climbed up. But, with Myles Murphy kicking this running back to the outside, Knight's in good position here to make a play and do his job. He gets credit for the tackle here, but, it's more about playing your position, getting in the right spot, and doing the right thing, which for a rookie sometimes can be a challenge. All right, here's Knight on the inside here communicating with Jordan Battle. They're in pass coverage. Got a quick pass underneath to Harold Fannin Jr. And I like the way, right away in week 1, I was like, there's some physicality out of Demetrius Knight. Look at the intensity he gets over there and finishes this play, riding the back of his fellow 2025 rookie classmate, Harold Fannin Jr. All right, Knight in the middle here. I thought the communication was good week 1. I thought the defense looked good week 1. It's kind of funny to come back. Look at this right away. Watch him come over the top. We've got a blocker here coming across, and Knight gets around. I'm sorry, I messed that up. Let me try and go back here for you. See Knight right there? Watch as the fullback comes up here to take him out, and he's going to dip around the fullback right there. Get inside. That's a nice physical play, right? That's what you're looking for. And he's playing with a lot of intensity in this game. Next week now is the Jags week. And this is when Joe Burrow goes down. This is when we kind of check out for a little bit. So these next few games may... let me go back just a little bit here as we've got to draw up the middle to Travis Etienne. I mean, look at the physicality he hits with, right? Look at this. Bam. It's the intensity, man. It's a big thing for me when I'm watching young players to play with confidence, even if he didn't always fully, feel confident. He at least showed it and wore it on his sleeve a little bit more. Instantly, you can see what they're trying to do, right? They've got this guy going out to the flats while De'Ami Brown in here has an inside release trying to pick off Demetrius Knight. Knight does a good job getting on it, getting out there, and look at the tackle again. Very physical, very decisive on this play, right? Look at him. Like, these are the good plays. I'm not showing you the bad plays here. And I'm showing you the good plays because this is what he can be at a higher rate. These things can happen more often as you grow in the NFL. All right, where is he? Left side, on the line of scrimmage. This is where we started to see him being used as this outside linebacker, edge guy. And I didn't really like it. They'd reduce these guys down this way. They'd stand up the D end over here. I mean, this is Cam Sample. What are you doing? Chris Jenkins. I'm trying to remember who that is. The guy, Mike Pennell, probably, right? And then Howard Cross. I mean, these are backups. They're getting blown out in this game. But does a good job surfing down the line a little bit, making sure the quarterback doesn't keep this ball right here. And then once he realizes and sees it, full steam ahead. Catches that running back from behind. You can see even some of the linemen reverberate off of his contact. Do I think Demetrius Knight's going to be a superstar? I don't. Do I think he can play so much better than he did last year? I do. And I liked him on tape at South Carolina. Here again, he's got to beat this lineman, right? This lineman's trying to release and then get out in front of Demetrius Knight. So be an athlete, stay out in front. You've got the backside pursuit here. So we want to get to the front side hip if we can. And let's watch Knight get some speed. I like how far he dives here, actually. He doesn't ever get all the way out there. And this is a tough ask for him to come out and get 12 here, who's a much quicker player. Harvey is pretty quick. But Knight leaving his feet from over here, that is crazy man work at linebacker. And I like that. Bengals could use a little bit of crazy at linebacker. All right, Knight on the right side. Carter starting to take over now as his running mate. And this is where things started to slip a little bit. He wasn't as quick anymore. Open space here. Let's see him again and get out in open space. He knows he's got to play to the outside because he's got help from the inside, right? So you have to do this while staying to the outside. If you're Demetrius Knight, he does. Doesn't really get sucked inside at all. Does his job. Wrap up, tackle, drag him down. Gain him 4 yards. Okay, right side now. He's on the defensive line. Again, you see the intensity he tackles with. He's setting the edge here like a defensive end. Gets his eyes inside right here. Just works enough to see what's happening as everyone's kind of locking out and playing their gap. And then watch the intensity he's going to finish this with. Full speed ahead. I mean, absolutely dives in there. He may hurt himself at some point, but I appreciate it. I don't want him to get hurt. That would be terrible. They don't have any depth at linebacker. But when you see a guy come in like that with his head down, it can be dangerous. He's on the right side this time. Sam Laporta, he's going to dip inside Sam Laporta, get into the backfield, and make a tackle. Hey, look at here. Get around Laporta. Set your feet, square yourself up, dive inside as Trey Hendrickson's also getting back there. Jordan Battle as well, and Barrett Carter. The Bengals came out firing in this game against the Lions. They didn't have enough firepower that day. Jake Browning was absolutely terrible. Okay, left side. Tight end and Amon-Ra St. Brown on the side. Going to kick him out one spot wider. We got motion going that way, and we're looking like we're going to run away from us here. So again, Knight, it kind of looked like he and Logan Wilson are kind of playing the same backside right here. This could have gone for a big gain if these guys didn't break free here. But at this point, watch the difference between Logan Wilson and Knight as one guy's going to go for it. One guy was very hesitant, right? Did you see the two of them? I'll try and pause it again here right before it happens. Right here. The difference between these two. You can't play hesitant at linebacker. And Logan Wilson was starting to get that way last year. He was a good player. I don't want to diminish what he was and the plays he made. But, clearly he was at the end and he knew it. He retired. All right, Demetrius Knight on the line of scrimmage on the left side here. He's got Sam Laporta in front of him. And this is just a really good job of handling the tight end. You should be able to handle tight ends at linebacker. He's keeping his eyes inside while leveraging Sam Laporta to the outside. And he's going to decide here at some point, when can I dive in and try and make a play and try and finish this run? And it's right now. He goes, okay, we've got guys in there finishing. Let me go finish with it. Again, finishing with intensity, right? Driving through ball carriers, leaving his feet if he has to, finishing through them. I don't mean to keep punching at the screen. You know what I'm saying, right? You feel the intensity. Right side. Sees what's happening, sees that Montgomery is kind of trying to move these guys out so we can cut back this way, it looks like. And from the backside, Geno Stone and Demetrius Knight are closing in. But look who leaves his feet. Look who gets there of the two guys right here. They're almost in the same position. I mean, one guy really wants that tackle. It's Demetrius Knight Jr. I mean, that's... I've watched these before at the end of the year when I was going through evaluations because I was like, let me see the highlights. I want to know what these guys can do. And I came away impressed with Knight off of these. Again, how quickly is he reacting, right? He's reading that O-line very fast, can see the setup blocks, sees how he takes him, he's taking him. He's like, all right, this has got to be a pitch. And he's getting out there right away. He's got Zach Tom here, number 50. Very athletic right tackle. Get out in front of him. Don't let Tom get to you. Take the fight to Tom if you can. He dives back inside because nice edge setting here by these two. As Jacobs has to go back inside. He's allowed, Knight is able to swim, move back in there, keep himself free, and then dive for that tackle. Like, look at this. He gets right here. He could wait and be patient. We watched the Isaiah Wokobia film. You saw how he kind of just waited and caught his tackle. Watch Demetrius Knight here instead. Go for that thing. Break down and go and get it. I talk about sometimes other players not firing their gun. So Demetrius Knight's the opposite. He was firing his gun, and he missed at times because of it. That's okay. There we go. Mirror this linebacker, or mirror the running back here. A-gap, right? No, he's going to cut it back. Now, can I cut it back without getting hung up on 65? Yes, I can. Stick your head in there, finish it off. And you got help from your teammates, which is always a plus at linebacker for sure. You need your defensive tackle help. And that's one of the reasons we're so high on the acquisition of Dexter Lawrence and what it could do for these young linebackers. All right, left side here, 44. Got two tight ends over there. Running back's on the other side. Now he's going in motion. He's communicating and pointing it out. And we've got right away, like what do we got? We got probably a swing pass to Jaylen Warren, right? At running back. Watch how quick Knight figures it out. He's already moving there before Aaron Rodgers, and now he's full speed. He knows where he's going. Boom! Look at that intensity. If I can get full speed tackles at linebacker this year, I will call that a plus. Like, that's what I want. Set the tone, Demetrius Knight. I know people aren't high on him. I know this. I'm not trying to sell you. I'm just trying to remind you that there were a lot of good plays. And if they can iron out the bad stuff. All right, we got two guys in the A-gap here. Barrett Carter, Demetrius Knight. Looks like Carter's dropping out to go cover Freiermuth. And then Knight was going to... They're doing this all to see who's covering and who's actually coming. They can realize now that Knight's not coming. These guys aren't coming. Gainwell can stay here and pass protect and then leak out. Knight's covering them one-on-one. And as Rodgers has to break the pocket, watch Knight staying with Gainwell, who became a very, very effective receiver. I mean, this is good to stay with him. Look at this. Looks like it's caught for 4 right around the first down marker. I thought it was good coverage, yeah. We're not going to see a ton of coverage snaps in these 37, 39 plays, whatever I said it was. Okay, left side. Somehow Logan Wilson is still on this team. This is the Jets game. So left side, Demetrius Knight. Fields going to go check this down. Knight's already in the flats. Not much for us to see there. But I remember this from the sideline angle. He gets out there very, very quickly, reacting very quickly. When he was sure of what he was doing, he was very impressive. That's why I think you can streamline his process and get him to flash at a higher rate. Like here, same thing. We got a naked boot. Watch him come down the line. And as soon as he sees the quarterback booting out this way, watch him turn his eyes. He wants to make sure he knows where this guy went. Mason, is that Mason Taylor? Right there. He can see him out of his peripherals, and he's going to run with him. Really take that option away from Fields. That Fields sees that and says, I'm going to take off. And there's where Knight comes down and forces him, make sure he goes out of bounds after a short gain of 4 yards. So it's nice to see him be an athlete, have that awareness of what's going on around him. Knight in the middle of the field here. We got an I formation under center for the Jets. We got to run up the middle. What do we got here? I don't know what he was pointing to with Knight. Maybe 89 releasing up here if it's a play action. Like you got him now. Little pinball a little bit for Demetrius Knight right here. Watch him get hit by the receiver. Bang. Hits by the guy that's on Slayton. Still able to come down and make the tackle. You got to be able to do that. Be physical. Play through contact. Play through trash. I talk about that phrase at linebacker a lot. That's a good example. Bodies are going to be falling everywhere, right? This is all going to get chaotic in here. Everything's going to go. There's going to be guys laying on the ground everywhere. Can you fit through, come down, and make a tackle still without getting caught up in that trash? Knight on the left side here. Got a guy in motion. Mason Taylor got a pass underneath. Oh, good effort, Chris Jenkins. Not a good effort for Geno Stone. Not good for him. So let's watch Knight come down right here. Run, be an athlete, and finish the tackle with Barrett Carter. We'll watch Barrett Carter's plays, his highlights on another time. We won't go linebacker back to back. We'll go to someone else next. Try and remember the positives for Shamar Stewart, maybe Miles Murphy. All right, Knight in the middle of the field here with the white sleeves this time versus Chicago. Looks like a run up the middle. Who's the first one reacting to where this run's going? He or Barrett Carter? Like, I know Barrett Carter's the green dot guy here, but watch them both in the middle. Who moved? Who just went? Like, do you see? Maybe they don't want him to be that reactive or instinctive, in my opinion. Like, maybe they were in the wrong spot by both being together here in the same gap here. And then Knight's like, I need to replace and get over to the B gap. And then gets in and fills in. He and Carter make it back. But that's really athletic to bounce back and forth and still make a strong tackle despite going side to side. All right, right side here. We got a wide zone run here. 73's coming up to get him. You also got to watch out for Darnell Wright coming from the backside here. I'm assuming since he makes this play, he splits and then goes that way, right? Let's watch him split between them. Yes, he does. Now go be an athlete all the way through and finish with power. Yes. Slip through those two. Be a shark. Go hunt. Go finish. Good tackle. You see what I'm saying? Like, if you haven't watched these plays, are you like, whoa, this is Demetrius Knight? I know there's only a couple every game, but it's there. It wasn't all bad. All right, in the middle here with orange sleeves this time. You can see him processing throughout, right? Watch A gap. Nope, it's going outside. Let me get to the next gap. And then come down and finish. Cam Taylor-Britt was still out there at that time, huh? He was leading with his head. Oh, Cam's fine. And his ankle's back. Foot's back. I guess it's more foot than ankle. And he has a good career with the Colts, to be honest with you. All right. I'm assuming he's out here on the right side, but I can't see the number. I think it's him on the edge on the right side. Because we got DJ Abbey covering this tight end here. And there's Knight doing a stunt, getting back in. And look at him hunt, man. You see what I'm saying? Like, the athleticism-wise, Barrett Carter wasn't doing this. Watch him here. This is just a tackle end stunt. Like I told you, he was playing end a lot. And when he gets here, he sees right away. He sees Drake May like, I'm out of here. No one's got this edge. I'm gone. And so instead of trying to cut and chase him, he's going to go meet him. And you're get to see him. This is like full speed what he looks like. It's a good play. Tracking him down. All right, left side on the line of scrimmage. got a tight end over there. He's got to take on the tight end one-on-one. A little bit of power as everyone's trying to hold up at the point of attack here. First contact. And then Knight gets in there to help finish. Who was that first contact? I didn't see it. I see Osai. Who else was it? That was Barrett Carter. Good job, Barrett Carter. That's one of his better plays as well. That was very physical at the point right there. All right, Demetrius Knight on the inside. See, where is he going right away? He's reading that motion. He's been watching the film. He knows when they bring this tight end in motion like this and snap it right here, he's coming out to probably kick out to this guy. We're blocking this way, or maybe he's taking this way and he's coming up and blocking him. But we're pitching out to the running back, Travion Henderson, right? The rookie? Yeah, that's how they're doing it. They're letting the tight end get out all the way. That makes sense. But it looks like Demetrius Knight knows this. Watch how quickly he reacts. That is a very fast reaction for getting to the spot before everyone else. Joseph Osai, good job recognizing it. Dax Hill getting there. Demetrius Knight getting to the outside. Osai misses his tackle, and Knight finishes with power. Maybe knocks himself out just a little bit there. He lays down for a moment. Next play here. Demetrius Knight directly in the middle. It's a good job by McKinley Jackson. If you want to get a McKinley Jackson play in here, he's going to take on this double team, hold them up just long enough, throw the center down, really get him off balance so that he doesn't get to Knight, allows Knight to come in and just finish and fill, right? Like that's what Dexter Lawrence is going to be able to do. Jackson's not going to get any credit for that. I'm going to give him the credit now because that's what the nose tackle has to do. Okay, Knight on the right side. Again, how fast is he reacting before everyone else? I know Carter's got the green dot, but where's Knight going right now? As if he knows the play. Look at that. They did not expect him to be there. There's a handful of these in these plays here where Knight gets to the play before others. If you can get... You want the positive plays to happen more often, right? You want the negatives to happen less often. And that turns that same player into a good player. You can see how it could happen here, right? Derrick Henry up the middle. Not much for Knight there. Plays his gap. Does what he's supposed to do. Not as crazy as the previous play. You know, the highlights are definitely different. All right, left side here. This has got to be Thanksgiving, right? What a fun day. At this point, the Ravens are doing what they want. They're getting some big chunk plays on the ground. The defense does make their plays eventually. But this is right before Knight really starts to find it in the last few weeks here. Here he is on the left side, playing that edge position. It's not a pitch to the running back. That's why he's surfing down the line. We call it surfing because what's it look like he's doing, right? Surfboard. Surfboards have those things at the end, right? That's supposed to be more rounded at the edge. That looks like a surfboard. So what's it look like he's doing? Surfing. And then he realizes the quarterback has it. Gets to the outside, sticks that hand up for just a split second to get in the quarterback's vision. Right here. Don't let him outside and then make that tackle. Take Lamar down one-on-one in the open field. Something many linebackers cannot say in Bengals history, that they've been able to tackle Lamar one-on-one in open field. Okay, Knight on the right side. Moving to the left now. You can see, look at Miles Murphy. Get over here. Get over here. Get over here. He knew right away what was supposed to be happening. All right, so Knight again. Going to stunt. Stunt's not there. But again, Stunt's not there. He doesn't just give up on the play. He doesn't look gassed. Watch him right here. He's going to say, oh, I see what's happening. You're running this little tight end screen, right? Oh, it's running back. Ali. Who is it? Yep, it's Ali. And Knight is just going to hunt that thing down from all the way across. He's amped up. He should be. That's what the film reviews are for the handful of plays we got here where he is just chasing and looks like an athlete. He looks highly athletic in those plays. Again, he can read this very, very well. And the Bengals are doing this on purpose. Like, they're crashing these guys inside, and Knight's going this way. Hopefully confusing their blocking scheme, getting Knight in a position to make a play. There he is. Now go tackle Derrick Henry, you and Joseph Osai. Done. Thank you. Gain of 3 somehow because he's a freak. Henry, that is. But it's a good play. Okay, where's Knight? Left side with the back plate showing. Just spying the quarterback, flowing with him. Where's Lamar going? Does he want to run? Now he'll go. Now Hunt. Sack. 2 sacks in this game. It's nice to be able to pull that out. If he can do that, he's your most athletic linebacker. Knight in the middle. Sees the slant, goes to take that away. Quarterback's going to take off. Let's go see if he can. Nope. Quarterback trips on his own feet. Who was it? Quinn Ewers. That's right. Quinn Ewers. Okay, that was the only play Knight made in that one. The Arizona game was his best game. We did a full film review. Bengals on the Brain. You could probably type in Demetrius Knight and First Star Logistics or First Star Media. Should come up either one if you put it in YouTube. But Trey McBride's going to get this little tunnel screen here, and Knight's all over it. Look at him. He's eyeing it down completely. Bang. Doesn't let it go. Everyone else joins in. One of their better defensive performances was in this game. Although, I think McBride had a ton of targets and catches. It was fun to watch. I actually just watched Braylon Lux versus Trey McBride in this game. Very good game. All right, Demetrius Knight in the middle here. Again, reacting. Look who's still sifting around here. Barrett Carter's waiting. Where's Knight? Knight's going forward. Watch it again. Takes on that block. Really destroys it. Kicks that running back out an extra gap or an extra read. And Knight makes the tackle from the backside. This got to be the last game, right? This was the last game of the year. Knight on the right side here. Bengals lost this and terrible loss at the end. Stupid. Anyway, Knight here on the right side, rushing a little bit, spying the quarterback. Shedeur steps up. Look at Knight finish. He looks like an athlete when he is chasing and running, doesn't he? Let him be confident in what he's doing. I think they found out what Knight can do towards the end of the year. And if he can play with that level of intensity, I think people are really, really going to like him. So based on that film, and again, like I said, those are the highlights. Those are the big plays that Demetrius Knight had as a rookie. But based on that, was that what you remembered? Is that what you recalled? Or were you still on they've got the worst linebackers in the league? They did. Does that mean they will in 2026? It doesn't mean that. There's reason to believe they'll be better. And then Knight, to me, is the one that I'm kind of putting my hopes on here. Now, Carter could be better, too. But for the upside, for the splash plays, I think it'll be Demetrius Knight. And maybe maybe the negatives, maybe the missed tackles or the bad angles or whatever. Maybe that never changes. And he just ends up being a below-average player throughout his career. But if the Bengals are going to go where we want them to go in 2026, Demetrius Knight is going to have to play a lot better. And those flashes that we saw today are going to have to happen on a higher frequency. And when they do, you can say that's because you remember watching the film of Demetrius Knight on Bengals on the Brain, presented by First Star Logistics. We got more young players that we're going to go back and watch, remind ourselves of who they can be. And that'll be the next stretch of our film review series until we've got some slow, this is the slow month, to be honest, between June and July when camp kicks off. So that'll be what we got to look forward to. So if you like this, let me know in the comments. If you think this is a good series to go back and watch some of these players, if you want to watch Dylan Fairchild and Amarius Mims and Shamar Stewart and Miles Murphy and keep the list going. Maybe we'll watch Jordan Battle and other players like that. Did this change your mind on Demetrius Knight? Did it make you more curious, more interested in his development? Let me know in the comments below. And until next time, Hoo day.